all-important first or second tier. Italy on the top, Germany on the
Germany is
bottom.
going first. I believe that's the first. Okay, they are unlocking the Emerald World Champion. Pax, Shane Shifter. Yep, there we are. That's
Not bad.
that's my world champion right there.
That is my world champion. Emery with the classic hand
And at
trap
this
plus
point, you
Marfa.
gotta ask, like, why didn't they do this the first 2 rounds? Why didn't we just Pax Shifter the first 2 rounds of this invitational?
Yeah, they would have
Why
saved
did we
themselves a lot of
bother?
problems.
Why did we bother queuing the Snake Eye deck if we have the ability to do this to our opponents?
I'm really disappointed because like they played so well, you know, and it was
They
just
did.
they
Yeah.
just you know, just got the short end of the stick. I mean, someone has to lose a duel, right? So
Yep.
it is what it is. But you know, they did do really well, and I guess now they're just bringing out the Exo Sisters.
They're just saying playing well doesn't win you a game of Yu-Gi-Oh. Dimensional Shifter does.
yeah, exactly. Cancel out the graveyards here. Team Italy is on 41 cards.
I don't remember if that was what they did in their
Yeah.
Snake Eye or their Labyrinth deck, or both.
All right, well, it's everyone's favorite. Okay, Caspitel.
Caspitel grabs a monster. That's interesting. I assume that means we have a good normal summon already. Otherwise, you would go for Michaelis to search the trap cards.
Yeah, so hand trap plus Martha, I guess, like, is what this deck is designed to do. What are the tech cards and stuff you play these days for that consistency? Is it spirits, you think?
I would think that's the best one if you want more ways into those rank 4 monsters. I would think that you would go for the spirit cards because they come with like minimum sort of like engine requirements. You know, like you don't need that much in order to get them going.
Yeah, Stella and the Sophia here forming the 2 sisters.
I mean, this is the ideal opener. This is the it doesn't get better than this because they also paired it up with the Dimension Shifter, and they even got to draw off of the, I believe it's Sophia that draws you a card if you control another Exo Sister.
Yeah, one of the few hand traps in the game that can be used while under Shifter is Ash Blossom, so that would be a great little cherry on the top as well if we have that. But
they did play into Nibiru with this line now, which is the sort of quote-unquote like downside of the Exo Sister hands that do go, I mean, you'd refer to it as full combo in Exo Sister terms, I suppose.
In Exo Sister
terms.
it's
When you go Caspitel plus Michaelis into the Magnifica, and that is more than 5 summons, which is particularly bad for Exo Sister because it also removes every single Exo Sister card from the field, which also turns off some of your trap cards. However, I don't think there's a Nibiru because that would have been used on the summon of Michaelis because there's no reason to let them search the trap card. Like, that is not an on-summon effect. That is an ignition effect that you just activate during your main phase. So you would normally use the Nibiru before that is being used.
Yep, so definitely wouldn't want to let them get to that point straight away. So here we are. That's Magnifica ending with 2 sets, probably. What was the other choice for Emery at the championship? Was it between this and like Flu Wonder?
You mean like the 2 decks he brought?
Yeah.
Or he brought Exo Sister and Labyrinth?
Yes, what was the second choice, like between Exo Sister?
Oh,
like,
he was trying to convince me to play Fluanderies. And then he came to my house and I told him, like, if you can beat me with Fluanderies, you can play Fluanderies. So he was
And
at
what
my
was the
house.
score?
Well, he did not play Fluanderies.
That's all we need to say about that.
I told him, if you can beat me with Fluanderies, you can play Fluanderies. And then we played for like 5 hours and he did not get to play Fluanderies.
He did not get to play Flu on the Reese. All right, Team Italy opening no disruptions here, but it is Snake Eyes while under Shifter.
That is bad news for them, unironically. They would rather be on Labyrinth right now, and they're being caught off guard here by Team Germany's second deck. I am glad that we're seeing these kind of mind games going into this tournament, because like, I know some of the players were saying like, oh, we're always going to play Snake Eyes anyways, we're not going to deviate, but we're seeing some people actually do it, and that is cool. And it's paying off here for Team Germany, as they unfortunately haven't managed to win with the Snake Eyes, but it's looking pretty good for them here with the...
Be very funny to go 0-2 with Snake Eye and then just win out with the Exo Sister, right?
Yeah.
Like that'd be fantastic.
I wonder if they swapped to Exo Sister because they actually wanted to make a call, or if they were just like doing it for the fun of it. Like, we've lost twice with Snake Eye. I don't trust you no more. I'm gonna queue Martha Shifter.
Yeah, I think Emery's had enough. Like, we gotta bring out the Exo Sister here. So
Lampy, that's enough comboing. That's enough comboing. let me take over.
Subversion searched out here. That's gonna be pretty strong.
Okay, that's a good card. against... I mean, it's not good per se against Magnifica because you can tag out into its Xyz material and then...
So with what Kyle said, Mikhail's gets to use the effect anyway at some point, so... I don't know.
Here it's
rough.
important for every Master Duel player here. You have 2 pop-ups for the Exosister Magnifica because it has 2 effects.
Yeah.
One effect that can only be chained to your opponent's card and another effect that is just a quick effect. You want to use the one first that responds to your opponent's cards, otherwise you won't be able to tag out. And they are doing it the right way here, unlike Emre did at the World Championship in one of the matches.
Yeah, I was going to say, you sound like you're talking from a very specific place of...
I don't want to talk about it.
Hey, you brought it up. Like, you got to go on with the story now. All right, so what did he do?
Well, I mean, he did this the wrong way around.
Responded with the wrong card effect.
No, he used... So it was like his opponent used the card and he was like... chain Magnifica and then clicked the one that banishes the opponent's card, and then he couldn't use the other one anymore because that can only respond to your opponent's cards, and then the Magnifica was just...
we went from like 100% like win to...
less than 100%.
Yeah, to a very much losable game, unlosable game being lost.
Yes.
All right, we're ranking up here. We're thinking a while on what the target is now.
You don't have a choice. It has to be the Michaelis.
Okay.
I think they're just thinking on maybe position or like... zone placement.
So do we have like any plays with Snake Eye while under shifter, right? It's just kind of rough, isn't it?
If it's the complete standard quote-unquote pure Snake Eye deck, not really.
I'm surprised we don't see any like rank 1 Fuchos or Lyrilusk, Nightingales.
That's normally what you have. Yeah, that's like that. You have those sort of tools. I mean, maybe they're playing it. They don't have a second level 1 at the moment because it was banished by Magnifica. But in theory, that's one way to maybe live through it. Like you make like a Fucho, and then that's just, what is that? Like detached to, unaffected, and can't be destroyed by battle. So you just hope to live 1 turn. Other option would be Lyrilusk into a big Zeus potentially. It's just a lot of extra deck slots.
Yeah, that's the problem.
For like, I mean, Shifter exists, but it's not that common in Master Duel at the moment, I would say. So
semi-limited is what really I think turns down that consistency.
It makes it not even worth committing those extra deck slots. It feels like, because it's like even if you're playing against a deck that could have it, not every Shifter player is built like Emre. So.
Yeah, so not only do you have to draw the shifter, which is like, what, like a 24-ish% chance in your opening hand, plus you actually need to queue against the shifter deck, which aren't all that popular right now. I mean, they are kind of anti-meta choices.
And then, I mean, you already have outs to it. Like, you already have answers in the form of, like, Called by the Grave, for example. So it's not even like you don't have any chance if you don't play those extra deck cards. But
yeah, it seems standard to play Call by these days, irrespective of, like, you know, some decks would just forego playing Call by altogether, but... just because of like the princess, like there's just good value out of it, and of course Maxi.
Even besides Maxi being a deciding factor, obviously it's also just like a great card against Snake Eye in general. Like hitting Flamberge is massive. Hitting Snake Eye Ash or Oak when they try to tag out into a Flamberge is also really good. It's just a phenomenal card in almost any regard. So
I wonder if we just like perhaps like scale another Ash or Poplar because we're under shifter here. There isn't really much value I'm seeing. Okay, well, we are going to go for the Flamberge. Tricky position here, but still trying to make the best of the situation here from Team Italy.
I mean, I'm struggling to find ways they can even do it, because I believe the original Sinful Spoils needs to send to the graveyard for cost.
Yeah, it does.
So you can't use that. I think Diabellstar does too. Like special summon this card by sending 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard.
Bring that up here in just a moment. There she is. Special summon by sending a card from hand to the grave for the summoning condition. All right, well, Italy is now pondering their options.
Pondering, huh? Is that what it's called? It's just sit there and nothing to do under that.
This graveyard of ours looking.
I mean, they must
empty.
have. The thing is, though, like they must have an option. Maybe we can listen in. I'm not sure if we have that ability right now.
Let's see if we can try get a listen in on Team Italy here and figure out what is being planned on their side here, because there's a lot to try and deal with. You know, because
you can summon the ball under shifter.
Or it does not trip it, it sends. Okay. Okay, so we have to basically remove a card from the end. I think it's the best option.
Ooh, I think they're referring to a talents. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
We cannot lose to that.
Either way, yeah, they can still use Michaelis.
Lightning.
We'll definitely removing the extender, I think. We don't
Like
care
it
about Storm,
No,
so
either
is Bell affecting
Bell.
us now? No.
can play around the bell. Pass.
Play around bells by
Yeah, we
passing.
pass.
Can do anything.
Okay.
We'll try to activate.
Now in the end phase, however,
Can
we do
remove
get
the
to
ash, we
use the
don't care.
Michaelis.
So
Now they
I do
remove
like
the
their
tempo.
thought process there in some way, shape, or form. Like the fact that they identify like, okay, this talents, we can't really use it offensively here, right? Because we're under shifter, we can't make much happen. Let's look at their hand and maybe take away their follow-up. The one problem with this plan is that the Michaelis is going to survive the turn and it's just able to search Exosister packs. So unless we have picked up like an Ash Blossom to stop that from happening, talents to look at their hand to stop follow-up doesn't really work. So in that sense, they could have taken the Michaelis, but then if Team Germany is smart and they just chain the Michaelis to banish the Ash, then they just have to give the Michaelis back, because they can't link it off if it's the only card, unless they play Zeus. That could have been a nice like mind game to play.
Yeah, the talents taken to Zeus is like
yeah.
something we've seen a decent amount over the course of the last couple of months.
Yeah.
But extra deck slots for that are sometimes a little bit tight.
Yeah, I mean, also we know about the Ooh, they have drawn Ash, actually. Okay, that is one card to keep them in the game. A little bit, at least.
The thing is, though, you still have Michaelis, right? So
Michaelis searches packs, unless I'm missing something. It's got an Xyz material.
yeah, but the packs just gets you into your plays, no?
Yeah, it can, yeah.
So-
Packs gets you a Martha.
Do we need like further disruption here? And that is going to be packs for the 800 costs to add, unless Droll.
Joel could be a card because... Oh, there it is.
Wow.
Good call. Yeah, because it was not able to be used last turn because Germany played around it by going Pax Chain Shifter.
Yeah, it is a quick play though.
Yeah, it's a
so,
quick play. It's a quick play.
It just didn't feel like that was ever going to be a good situation, I suppose.
I mean, the thing is, you can still potentially prevent other searches later. Like, for example, if this Martha wants to go into a Caspitel that cannot grab a monster, I wonder if there's a way to put up enough damage with just Martha Michaelis without the ability to search further monsters.
Banishing that field spell is really strong because we just don't even have that line of defense here, so we
Yeah.
could be in a bit of a risk of
Exactly. I think
losing
that
right
was
now.
like somewhat one of the things that maybe Team Italy was missing out while they were thinking about how they planned out their last turn. I think they were maybe hoping to have that field spell plus Flamberge to have a chance at surviving this turn, but the field spell obviously gets banished by the Michaelis for free. Like the full Exosister combo actually has a lot of removal. Like you get to banish one with Magnifica, tag out into Michaelis to banish one more. Then if you have Returnia as well, that's another 1 or 2 banishes. It's a lot of banishing that's going on.
Yeah, this deck is really good at dealing with floating and destruction effects,
Yeah.
which is what's really strong about the Flamberge. But,
Yeah.
you know, I suppose it is sometimes a bit weak to targeting and unaffected things. But Snake Eye, not really known for putting up too many cards like that, which is why that Labyrinth strategy could have been actually really strong.
And we make another Michaelis. Banish a card that our opponent controls. The Flamberge gone. That's a big resource, especially if Team Italy is only playing 1. I assume it's 2, but we don't know for sure. And they go for a Magnifica, which is another quick effect banish. And this is a huge sort of like pressure situation that they are applying, because I don't think they're going to have enough damage to actually finish the game this turn. But the Magnifica representing another like set of banishes next turn, it means as soon as your last Flamberge hits the field, we're getting rid of it. Which is a massive problem for the Snake Eye deck, because
Why do you think we didn't banish the Ash here?
um,
Because I wouldn't want to put any fires in their graveyard personally.
so Magnifica is a detached to banish, right?
Yeah.
So if you use it now, if you use it once now and then once on the opponent's turn, you don't have material left to tag out,
Right, I see.
and it needs one to tag out.
Oh, and we've got back to the draw phase as well for the Diavel Star, if we've drawn that. which I think we did hear them talk about
Yeah,
it
I think
earlier.
they have it. I think they did talk about that.
Normal summon in the Poplar is something, and they don't have a choice here. They're just gonna have to play through this.
I mean, they may have already had Maxi last turn, but they shifted, so they couldn't use it, and they didn't need to use it.
I'm just realizing now that this Poplar is not triggering, right? Let's see, the Temple's gone,
no,
the
it
Subversion's
has
gone.
to.
It must have targets, actually.
I
yeah.
think they want to, maybe they want to avoid the Magnifica from tagging out, because that's what would trigger it. But at the same time, I don't really see the reason for that.
We're going to hold here for a moment as we consider our options.
It doesn't threaten anything, just the Poplar. That's what
Yeah.
I'm wondering about. Like, even if you want to avoid this Magnifica from tagging out, like, what are you representing with just this Poplar?
Yeah, I mean, you have to, like, use the effect to get to somewhere because it's your
Yeah.
normal summon. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So
no
the
way-
only explanation is either... maybe they drew the original Sinful Spell. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Sometimes it's more logic than you think. Sometimes you're just like wondering about things, and then it's like the simplest explanation is just the correct one. They drew the target.
Okay, so drawing under Maxi, huge. But this is like gonna feel really bad here. 'Cause
They are cornered. They don't have a choice. If they just pass there, they're going to lose to the Magnifica that's already on the board. So this Maxi is forcing them into a very weird position where they have to special summon. However, at the same time, with no cards in hand, this Magnifica is going to have a real easy time disrupting these plays, because you're just going to banish... what are they banishing? The target for Oak?
it doesn't target, right?
Oak does target.
No, not the
The
target.
Magnifica does not target.
Yeah.
No. Oh, wait.
Oh, they're tagging. Are we trying to like cast Patel mid-chain or something? What are we tagging into here? Has to just be Michaelis, right?
What? Can you bring up Magnifica real quick? Didn't they have a banish?
Right, into Michaelis. Here's a Magnifica.
Quick effect, detach a material. Yeah, why didn't they use that effect? They could have used both effects.
Could be an Emery situation.
The classic.
All right, so some follow-up here.
We just downgraded from a Magnifica into Michaelis.
Looking at their body language, I don't know. They seem fine about it. Adding Poplar here, that's going to be another extender. Special summoning onto the field here, and now the
I'm curious about that. I am curious about that.
adding with the Poplar here. What's our remaining targets with Poplar? There's still more.
I guess they
Second
must be
original
playing.
Sinful?
They must be playing 2 original, and they just didn't want to trigger the Magnifica earlier when they summoned it the first time. Yep.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, the biggest issue here is, despite the fact that the Magnifica was a little off, it's still drawing so much here.
I mean, the situation is the same. The only way you have as the Snake Eye deck at the moment to really pressure this board, this field situation, is you have to bring out your second Flamberge, and as soon as that hits the board, the Michaelis is gonna banish it.
yeah, I don't think there's any ifs and buts about that, right? You see Flamberge, you have to deal with it. I mean, the
Yeah.
only thing we can do to like handle it earlier is like a Dark, bring back Shifter, and try and deal with
But
Michaelis
you have
some
to
way
go
like
through
that.
Linkaribo as well under Maxi. Like, because right now you don't have a Dark monster, so you'd have to go Linkaribo, give them 1 card, Dark, give them 2 cards, Summon Shifter, give them 3 cards, make Unicorn, give them 4 cards to force the Michaelis banish. I don't know about that. And discard the... Because at that point, you're discarding the last card in your hand as well, so what stops them from just chaining Michaelis on the last monster that's next to the Unicorn? And then you're just sitting there with the Nightmare Unicorn, you attack for 2200, you pass, and they have like 10 cards in hand.
It is 10 Exorcista cards though, so I mean, maybe that's,
That's,
like maybe that's the
That's fair enough,
that's
yeah.
the deciding factor.
That's fair enough, yeah.
All right, well, Team Italy does have to deliberate and think about what we're doing here, because I mean, Maxi just really complicates this,
Let's
right?
try and get another listen in on this turn, because I mean, last turn their options were really limited, but this time around...
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what they are saying here, if we can try get production on that for us as we take a listen. But yeah, we are definitely going to have to summon the Flamberge. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, this is
So
going to be banished.
from here, it really is a case of what do you do after this gets banished? It will get banished, right? Surely Germany will banish this Flamberge. Yep, there it is. And I think is that both of them? Wow.
That is
yeah.
both of them. Yeah, that's why it was so clutch to do it last turn on the first one.
And it's kind of impossible to retrieve it in this situation, isn't it?
No,
There was
In general, it's impossible.
no, we
yeah.
need
they're
to go
fearing.
for.
Here we are
Huh?
with the table of Team
We
Italy.
need to commit here. We have
Yeah.
no other thing. We have to commit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Colossal-
they're saying no choice. We need to go in this turn. And
Baldo.
oh right, they know about the bell.
There's just nothing they can
Oh,
do.
that's so frustrating because I already forgot about that. What they remembered.
Unless does Bell work against Charmers? Is it opponent's? Because it's
Well,
opponent's grave. Does that matter?
I'm pretty sure it works.
It
Unless
should
it
do.
says their graveyard. I'd be surprised if it doesn't say that.
Yeah, I mean something's delaying on Dark here, and I guess Germany is just thinking about. Yeah,
you
there
can
it
buy
is.
it. From the graveyard to the hand deck, or special summon a monster from the graveyard.
And we know that the last card in
Yeah, we
hand
can
is an
have-
original sin, so there's nothing they can even really
Yep.
try and bluff with. That's
And,
known information.
Now, I mean, 8 cards in hand, but like you said, Exo Sister cards. Let's see if that's enough to do 3,200 damage.
Surely that's enough for 32 through.
I think if you
basically
set the
nothing.
bar low enough, any
We
deck
were
can do
scared
it with
about
8
the
cards.
end. Still,
We can add Battle Fader with the
We still
Dark.
have the means in the deck to resolve Martha 3 times. We haven't drawn a single Ellis
Didn't
in
show
this game.
Maxi. Didn't show anything.
also, if we didn't draw Impulse Point as a draw, I'm saying it's
Yeah.
terrible. We need Maxi there, so we could have drawn like 2 or 1. At least it was relevant.
Yeah, so you can hear them
This will be this.
sort of upset at the fact that they drew the sinful spoils.
The excuses are coming in hot.
Well, you know, if it was Maxi, right, this game would have been very different.
If my opponent didn't have the good card.
Well, there it is. Team Italy are taken down by Team Germany, who
All right.
have not won a game with Snake Eye, but
100% winner with Exo Sister. Isn't
Yeah.
that something?
Exo Sister is what is dominating this.
Oh, you see, they're
German
laughing about
scene.
it. They're laughing about it. That's good to see.
It's funny because, like, we talked about the setup of the tournament and the sort of stages of which they would need to, like, in order to get to the finals.
Yeah.
Like, Germany being 0-2 would, it might not even be enough in the first place, and so it was only really beneficial for Italy to win this one out. But they're not going to give them any favors here. They're going to play to their best
They're going to
ability.
shift their Martha in the, when
Oh,
the
yes.
situation is most dire. Let's hear it from the winners of round number 6, the German team.
Yeah, let's take it away with Ed.
Thank you, guys. I am here with the winners of that round 6 match, and despite the double Michaelis at the end, just before we got on camera, you just went, we had an oopsie there. Talk us through what was going on.
I think Lampy can explain it better than I can do.
So we basically had it locked up, and then I decided to not chain the second effect of our beautiful Magnifica to their effect, and so we gave them a chance. We still, of course, managed to pull it out in the end, but we at least gave them a chance. But Exorcister was, of course, we changed it up now. We changed from Snake Eyes to Exorcister. He won words with Exorcister, so we had to do it.
Yeah, in the notes I have, it says that you two are the most prolific Exo-Sister players in the world. Were you expecting to go up against Labyrinth with it and not Snake Eyes?
That was we thought that we were going to play against Labyrinth because we saw them playing it earlier. But we were lucky that we opened to Shifter, so it was fine that we played against Snake Eyes.
Because it was a bit of a gamble, wasn't it? But would you say generally it's a pretty weak matchup against Snake Eyes, or...?
If we don't open the shifter, it is definitely kind of awkward because you really saw how they were struggling under the dimension shifter. That was really a problem for them, and without that, I think they could have pushed way further. And we were fortunate enough to open the dimension shifter.
Well, congratulations on the win, guys. I hope this luck streak continues for you both.